It started in January. I mean, we went from, with our test, our milk was over $25 in December, and the last 2 months is $13. And that's a pretty big jump. There wasn't that much profit to start with, and you can't afford to sell it for half price. But we can't. I'm not going to have milk cows if it keeps on, and the futures don't look any better. Dean Foods recorded record profits last year and this year, and what the heck, we're giving them the milk. They ought to make money. We was at a dairy meeting last night, a grazer meeting. Dawn's thinking possibly as a last resort, start grazing. It's going to be a big change if they ever do it. You have to have about an acre a cow. And they keep blaming us, we have to compete with New Zealand. Well, New Zealand don't make enough milk to supply New York, much less the world. And they're all grazers there. United States business wants us to compete with them in price. Well, those farmers aren't getting very much for it. They have a concentrated protein thing that they're sending over that's not even approved by USDA or from federal food thing. It's not approved for a food, and they're sending it in here in our country to fortify cheese, and that cuts our price down, this concentrated protein thing. You say less than 2% of the milk in the United States is traded on the Chicago market, and that still sets our price. Us in the Northeast, we're getting screwed royally on Class 1 milk. Class 1 is the beverage milk. And the Northeast has a bigger percentage of it, but under the federal order, everything goes into a pool. This idea everybody gets the same price. When they first started that, a guy came in here, and I wasn't interested at all. They were talking about starting a federal order. That's a good while ago now. And I said, I wasn't interested. We got a good market. And he said, do you think it's fair that you get more money than somebody out in boonies? I said, yeah, we got the market. That's where we live. And he said, well, I don't think it's right. And I said, you think everybody ought to get the same price? He said, absolutely. I said, you're a goddamn socialist. I said, why don't you share your paycheck with some ditch digger who lives down the road from you? Oh, you don't know what you're talking about.
Allow President Obama and his czars to change our country from what it is to what they believe it should be. Our advances in modern medicine are the result of the research and development brought about in a free society by men and women of genius. Our citizens enjoy the fruits of learning and labors of thousands of dedicated health professionals. People flock to our shores for the best of care from the brightest in the art and science of medicine. We have the best health care in the world, not because of government and insurance companies, but despite them.
Gasoline prices are expected to increase by 26% because of this legislation alone. Electricity prices are expected to go up by 60%, and natural gas, which is what we fire our furnaces with at Summitville Tiles, is expected to go up by 79%.
Wow.
You know that coal generation is responsible for 50% of the electricity generation in America. It's responsible for 90% of the electricity generation in the state of Ohio. It's estimated that this bill, if it's passed, will put 100,000 coal miners out of a job within the first 10 years of its enactment.
Wow.
Are we willing to stand for this?
No!
Thank you.